राइट हाथ ऊपर कीजिए, अपने आप को जरा ठोके, स्टार्ट अप्रिशिएट, डोंट अप्रिशिएट एनीबॉडी। राइट हैंड ऐसे कीजिए, बाजू वाले को अप्रिशिएट कीजिए, संभाल के जाना। अब थोड़ी हंसी आ रही है ना। हाउ मेनी प्रिंसिपल्स हियर? पीछे क्यों बैठे? प्रिंसिपल तो आगे बैठना चाहिए ना। जनरली प्रिंसिपल को पीछे नहीं बैठता है। ये लास्ट बेंचर्स प्रिंसिपल्स हैं। टीचर्स कितने हैं जो प्रिंसिपल बनना चाहते हैं? है। एंड हमारे बिरादरी साइकोलॉजिस्ट, साइकियाट्रिस्ट और कैरियर, थैंक यू, ब्यूटीफुल। I would thank Madam Teja Labin. Whenever I speak to her for 10 minutes, I get new ideas. कुछ नया मिलता है, and she cannot stand at one place. I know she's a dancer, Bharatanatyam. Just cannot stand at one place. Lovely. I met my principal, my vice principal, and all the other principals. Navratna family is an awesome family, and I don't say it because I'm here. I say it even outside when I'm not here. I thank you all for inviting me. Ganeshji, Maza, soul doctors. I will carry this ahead. And also mindfulness, as you said, is the most. जब तक ध्येय सामने होता है तब तक सब आसानी से हो जाता है. My dear friends, I would not have been here if my dearest friend in Gujarat. Who's that?
Jamila.
How do you know? The secret is out, Jamila. My God. समझने वाले समझ गए हैं, ना समझे वो समझदार ही है. My dear friends, when Jamila asked me what you will talk, I gave her a complicated topic so that she will not invite me. But she said yes, and I told my son, कणाद आता काय करायचं म्हणजे? कुछ समझ में नहीं आता क्या करना है, तो दे दिया कुछ तो complicated word दे दिया, just to impress. उसके बाद मेरी फट गई. Sorry to use this language, but Indian idioms का जो power है ना English में. As I start, I would like to say that a country that educates prospers. The country that innovates leads. And we are in that phase of life in our country. Naya Bharat is there. And when I say this, I would like to say that this prayer is extremely important for all of us. And voluntarily, if you want to get up, you can get up. You can fold your hands and not. Please get up, my dear friends. I do this at every children's program. Can I start? Can you repeat it after me? There is no patent in anything I talk. It's all yours. Samarpit hai sab kuch. Every child is important. All children are equal. Every child is different. Every child can learn. No child is born a criminal. Transformation is possible in every child. Thank you. Please sit down. My dear friends, God is a champion of diversity. Man is a champion of structure. ढांचे में सभी को डालना. P-value 70% patients improve with this medication. But God has never said that everybody is same. 8 billion characters so far, it will increase after some time. And this is something which is very important because if you absorb this in your mind, यहाँ का जरा बत्ती बुझाइए ना, बहुत मेहनत से किया स्लाइड्स मेरे बेटे ने. यहाँ का बत्ती बुझाइए. My son Kanad. How many of you know the importance of this name Kanad? Kanad Rishi, who said that?
Particle. Atoms.
Anu bolo na. Vaisheshik Shastra. So he sat till 2 o'clock with me and did without complaining. So when you think that God is a champion of diversity, you will see different things in different children. You won't say, हाँ ये सभी science में अच्छे हैं. इनका algorithmic experience सबसे ज़्यादा है. इनको ChatGPT बहुत अच्छा है. No, you will try and look. There is something unknown about this child. ऐसा भी कुछ है कि मैं जानता नहीं हूँ. My dear friends, I start with this boy, Arindra Banerjee. बहुत मुश्किल से एडमिशन मैंने दिलवाया, बच्चा थोड़ा और था, अलग अलग बातें करते थे। प्रिंसिपल कहने लगा मुझे समझ में नहीं आता ये कैसा बात करता है। मैंने करता है वो ऊपर वाले का देन है। थोड़ी हिंदी में बोलूं तो चलेगा ना? हम मध्य प्रदेश में हिंदी, don't know English, don't know Hindi, okay, I understand that. Madhya Pradesh has an MBBS course in English. Okay, so this boy, the principal could not understand what was happening. Then after 10th IGCSE, they refused to give me admission for 11th and 12th. I said no, दे दो। फिर मैंने कहा कहाँ जाएगा? वो बोलता है BMM easy course है, BMM is an easy course. I'll do my course in 3 hours. So with great difficulty, they gave the admission. But at the age of 23, he wrote this book, Indian Navy 75, reminiscing the voyage as a co-author. At the age of 23, nobody believed him. At the age of 23, and this book is available all over. And I asked him the other day, he's a one of the best defense journalists attached to wire. No career guidance guys understood what he is, who he is. There is no test yet to decipher the human being. We might get closer and closer and closer after some time. It's like psychiatrists know a few neurotransmitters in the brain. They generalize it for all experiences. So what is important? Aankhe. Open your eyes, open your ears. Keep every cell of your open so that you absorb through verbal, non-verbal and through osmotic methods about what the child is. So this boy came here. Now what did I learn? I learned as a probable, I'm not a career counselor professionally. I don't do your test, DAT, etc. But what I learned is, Harek mein chingari hai. Every child has a flame. Every child has something different. The other day, IIT father, chartered accountant mother. And this girl did not understand science and maths. And in the third session she said, I have painted a lot of stuff, I sing. I have a YouTube channel, and the parents did not share anything of this. So it is important that every child is gifted. This should be a belief. The mentally retarded child can do something very different, which probably she has not discovered, I have not discovered, you have not discovered. I still remember, when I was in school, there were a fixed group of kids, elocution, debate, sab kuch. I discovered that I can write prose and poetry at the age of 45. Why? I was told every time, you are not good. This is the gang. So that is something which is very important. So, on an annual day, do you want a perfect annual day? Or do you want an annual day? There's a difference between a perfect annual day and an annual day. I want an annual day. I don't want a perfect annual day. I don't want a perfect annual day. What I learned is you need to, career counseling is not about 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th. It's about whom to whom. Sex education is not about 8th, 9th, 10th. It's about whom to whom. Starting with love, sharing, etc., etc. So what is extremely important is never tell yourself, we understand our child better, including your own child. They'll throw a lot of surprises if you believe there is something more in this child than what I know. My dear friends, we are slaughtered and slaughtered. Gusa diya. This child is good in humanities. This child is good in science. He will do medicine. Is that true? I can give you the set of slides. Please don't click. It is for everybody. The organizers can share it with anybody and everybody. We are slaughtered, and I mean the way you slot, it's good. It's not bad. But the point is, careers also change. First, we have a utopian career. Desh, we'll see something. We'll do something about the world and about the country. Utopian. I still remember when there was a blast in Pokhran. Scientist. Okay. And then there was a war with Pakistan, Air Force pilot. All fantasy. I was in the pilot, I was in the plane, on the NAT plane, hitting out at the Sabre jets. And MiG-21 too. And then I understood at the age of 14, 15, scientist. Then my father took me to some scientists. They had chappals in their feet. They had banyan and torn shirts. They said, you want to become this? I said, I want to become this. Then I got hospitalized. I said, doctors, my God, a doctor would come to 8 people and examine you. Somebody would take notes, somebody would write. I said, doctor. And because of my marks in physics and chemistry, I became a doctor. Because biology, I never understood what was under the microscope. And I could never get the nerve ring of the earthworm. Never. Then I went to MBBS, I lost interest completely till I found accidentally, thank God, a slot in mental health. So my dear friends, it's important to understand these three terms: resilience, relationship and reform. This will color all your interventions in school, college and even post-college. Ultimately what is happening? A large section of our kids have exaggerated entitlement. What have you done for me? Very, very common. But at the same time, we have a lot of kids saying, you have done a lot for me and I will do a lot for everybody else in the earth. And when you have exaggerated entitlement, I look at this word resilience. I still remember the life of Indira Gandhi, who was with Nehru all the time, not educated, but learned the tricks of the trade, learned the ropes by modeling, imitation, observation and processing. And I'll tell you, all of us should understand that kids don't learn resilience because their father shares their history of resilience. Tane khabar chhe? Do you know? We lived in a small village. There was only 2 pairs of clothes and hardly any food. That does not work. The kids say, if I born in 2014, what is my problem? I was not born in the same village. But the point is, every family goes through a struggle. And modern parents hide the children from their struggle. Exposing them to the struggle empowers children and builds resilience. When I say exposing them, what is very important to understand is not disempowering exposure. Do you know what has happened? You lost 10 crores? No. We have lost 10 crores, but let us sit together and find out how we can change our life, how we can organize our life, how we can respond to this. Empowered exposure to struggle improves resilience. No, you don't bother. You go to your school, we'll do everything for you. It's our problem. No, expose them. Expose them. That does not mean that when you are resilient, you are not fragile. Resilience and fragility can go together. It's a process. It's not that I have become resilient today. It's completely a process. And what is also important is resilience is relative. A crying ISRO chief is not fragile. He is resilient. But at some points of time, he's fragile and he starts crying that Chandrayaan 1 failed. My dear friends, the other combination which you need to understand in our work is togetherness, tenderness and transformation. Listen to me. Gone are the days when Amitabh Bachchan would say, मैं जहाँ खड़ा होता हूँ वहाँ से लाइन शुरू होती है, नहीं शुरू होती है. 4-5 लोग लगते हैं लाइन ड्रॉ करने को. All the films are multi-starrers. All the films are multi-starrers. All the work done are by teams. Are by teams all the time. It's not Palki Upadhyay Sharma who speaks. There's a lot of editors behind who have scripted the entire dialogue. It's all about teams. So, gone are the days when Swayambhu teachers were respected. They will no more be respected. As Madam beautifully said, that I asked her, what did you learn in the last few years as a principal? She said, one thing I learned is every teacher has one strength, and if you're able to identify it, you can build a team much better. It's so important to understand that togetherness, tenderness, there is no substitute for compassion. Compassion would not mean you're weak. Compassion means you're firm. When you're angry with a child because he's running to the beach, that is compassion. Speaking softly alone is not compassion. Now she is looking at somebody saying that I told you so. Whom will you look at? These teachers have this strange thing. They have strange things. They go, मुझे तो पता था वही हरीश शेट्टी ने बोला. Why did you invite him? I would have told him. And as Ganesh said beautifully, we are not here to clap and enjoy. We are here, if something happens tomorrow in your classroom, that is what we need to do. Transformation is what you are doing. You are not doing chipping work. You are not doing band-aid. Transformation. These are the 3 words which should be there in your life. Now, who is this gentleman? What's his real name? Anybody? His real name was Ram Tanu Pandey. Cultural awareness of counselors is very important. नहीं आपल्याला काय ते we know only Aaron Beck, you know who is he? Or we know other gentlemen, REPT wala. Huh? Albert Ellis. I still remember the day when I went to interview 68 or 80 psychologists for Goa, all the schools. Because Goa was the first state which appointed schools on the money of the government. Nobody knew who was Patanjali. And I did not blame them, I blamed them for the educational system. My dear friends, who is this? Huh? Chinmayananda. What's his actual name? Simple name, Menon. Suprabha Menon's grand uncle. I am very ashamed to say that when I go to international schools, and I mean international, ICS is not an international school. It's a Eurocentric school trying to become Indocentric. Still struggling. Still not being able to manage Shakespeare. The NCRT is breathing on their necks as of now. NCRT is breathing on the necks. The point is, unless you are culturally aware, what carrion will you tell the world? English is a language of opportunity. Mother tongue is a language of culture. English helps you to fly, but mother tongue helps you to survive. So you need to have the balance. My dear friends, who is this? What's his actual name? So itna to pata hai. Who is this? Shivaji. No. No. Who is? How many Sikhs here? Guru Gobind Singh. Come here. Come here. Yeah, you put your hands up. Please come here. Come fast. Don't get scared. आइए, बताइए कौन? इनके 4 साहबजादे का नाम बताइए. You don't know. Anyway, perfectly all right. आगे फोटो निकल रहे हैं. हाँ. Yeah. No, it's okay. What did they do? The 4 kids of Guru Gobind Singh. What did they do? They lost their lives for helping us live a better life. Now, who is this? Maharashtrians. Any Maharashtrians here? Huh? No, Tanaji. Huh? No, character. Baji Prabhu Deshpande. What did he do? Which war he fought? Pavan Khinda. Where is it? Where is Pavan Khinda? Near Kolhapur. Yeah. Okay. Who is this Guru? How many Jains are here? How many Jains? Who is this Guru? No. Parshvanath. The 23rd Tirthankar before Mahavir. Okay. Now, what are these terms? Anybody? Yes, ma'am, to me. Only you. Now. What are these terms? Namaz. Is it in order?
No.
What is the order? Fajr, Zohar, Asr, Maghrib and Isha. We have to be aware. Multicultural competence is important for all mental professionals. ना पढ़ा तो अपन जैन छे भाई. नौकर मंत्र के वानो चुप रे वानो. थोड़ा आमिल. No, you have to expand your horizons like what Mr. Kohli said beautifully across many countries and become multicultural. Are mental health professionals multiculturally competent? Is a challenge. What does a vegetarian know about mutton rogan gosh? Why? At least knowledge. Mutton rogan gosh. What is it? No idea. By idea. Are mental health professionals and teachers in touch with our civilizational history? No. Are we mental health professionals or teachers technicians or holistic professionals? Is something we need to ask. My dear friends, individualistic. I want to become a nuclear scientist. Father says our business is there in Baroda, but he wants to be. Nothing wrong. Individualistic or competitive man. And I'll tell you, ma'am, about competitions. You tell 10 children you have to score 95, 3 will get spurred, 3 will fall. This is not my cup of tea. 3 will become indifferent. So different children get stimulated by different stimulus. So I completely agree with you, ma'am, that achievement orientation is much better than being competitive. Ultimately, cumulative efforts across time, building your inner journey, your soul, building your gyan, all these things are important. But what is very important to understand that individualistic people are very competitive. Collectivistic will always collaborate, as ma'am said so beautifully. But we need both. We need both. If you have to break the barriers and change the world, you need individualism also. One person who thinks differently. One person says that we need to put Aditya on the sun's orbit. We need individualistic as well as collectivistic. At the same time, we need mixed. But there's a fourth pursuit which I see across all colleges, and that is, I see a lot of kids in MBA colleges where I go and do induction activities, law colleges, law universities, where there are some kids who have gone away from the homes just to be away from the homes and do a course which is not available in the district. Yes, it's a big thing. And then they say, in the vacation I don't want to go home. But then they start working on themselves and they get realigned with their families again. So this centrifugal pursuit is also something very important. So independent, competences, collectives, conforming. My father is getting old, so I need to really help him. So I would do my MBA and do his business. Mixed. Stress, competencies which are new, and self-esteem. Madam said importantly, self-esteem. What is self-esteem is very different what we think in our country and outside. Self-esteem also depends upon the collective self-esteem of the community. It is not about I can ride a pony, I can drive a car. If I get a plane, I can drive that also. No. Once upon a time, there was a research done on Japanese kids and American kids. American kids scored high on self-confidence because the scales were biased towards moving about extroversion, interpersonal relationship. Well, the Japanese kids were scored very less. But in IQ, Japanese kids scored much more than the American kids. My dear friends, still remember the day when I started my practice. Young boy, spectacled, sat in front of me, looking down. Father said, third semester engineering, failed all subjects. I said, that is normal because engineering seats are so many, everybody feels their child will become an engineer. Then he slipped an envelope to me and when he went, I opened the envelope. It was a critique about mental health psychologists and psychiatrists in a poem form. The father was very apologetic. I'm so sorry, sir. I said, no. Tell me how many poems he has written in the house. Count. He had written 150 poems at the age of 17 and he published his first book of poems. I introduced him to a publisher. So it's extremely important to listen to people who don't think like you. I still remember this day when I was in a school where I actually was part of the school trustee. I'm still there. One 17-year-old brat comes inside the boardroom. He was caught because he never attended any class. And he told the chairman and me, I don't like your teachers. I don't think they teach me. They are of no use to me. And his father was the principal of the college. He was standing there looking down. I saw a spark in him. He did not say to shock us. He said it genuinely. And today, before he finished in engineering, he started a startup today which hires more than 90 engineers. Wow. He was thinking differently. If he was looked at through the prism of discipline, he would not have got the 12th standard, what do you call that? To appear for exams? All, you know how much you all threaten children, hall ticket nahi dega, will not give hall ticket. I'll tell you, the kids will curse you. They'll curse, don't threaten on LC, TC and hall tickets. It's a sin and it's a curse. Corporate justice might not catch up with you, but cosmic justice will. Now what happens to poor schools? I am very sensitive to this. Globalization has excluded the poor. 1 out of 4 men who die of suicide are daily wage laborers. I access poor schools because poor schools remain poor because they don't know how to access people. Amartya Sen said this. Now if I use the word Amartya Sen, you will feel I'm intelligent. Sometimes they will throw some names. Just throwing Suprabha's name is not enough. Not enough. So the point is poor schools will not access you. I would say, I would challenge Navratna, which does an excellent work on Nav Prerana. I heard it and I was very touched. I had tears in my eyes for what they do. But let me tell you, all psychologists and counselors here from different parts, I'm told that people from my state, Maharashtra, are there. Huh? Is it Maharashtra? Not yet. From which part of Maharashtra? Mumbai. Where Mumbai? Thane. How about Maharashtra, interior Maharashtra? Nagpur. Very good, very good. The point is, time has come when we don't hold our resources. Time has come, Gandhiji made trips across the country twice before he started what he has to. School principals should not sit in their AC rooms. Psychologists should not sit in their AC room. They should do Brahman. Just go across the community and say, I want to have tea with you, principal. That principal will get very scared. Why is she coming? Think, I've done something wrong. No. The day when you think the schools are part of the community, poor schools will do very well.
Yes.
Poor schools don't access because the apples are, they believe that apples are far away. But God has given 1200 to 1400 grams of praying. Almost everybody. It is important that we stop these allied school associations. Khabar padi? Allied. Stop this allied school. Every child is allied. Associations can never be allied. And it's important that we share our resources. They will not reach anywhere. We ask them to put 5 lakh rupees in the bank account to get a visa. From where will they put? They don't want to reach, but if you go there, improve their nutrition in the first 10 years of life, nutrition improves IQ. IQ improves accessibility, inspiration, and the need to do much better. Extremely important. I'm worried about marginalization. I fought this war in Maharashtra when your SPICO batch and BICO batch, 95 plus A division, 85 to 70 B division, in Maharashtra, Parle Tilak, King George, and Balmohan, Brahmanwad. How can state board check the abilities of the children? They don't have the software. State board cannot check the abilities, ICSE also cannot. State board is rote, ICSE is sophisticated rote. No much difference. State board means Mangal Pandey 4-line answer, ICSE means make a project. How can you segregate children? You cannot. I filed a case both in the High Court as well as in the State Human Rights Commission, got it abolished. So look around. Unless you access the poor, you're not doing any justice to the world. Eldest kids will find their way even in your absence. They don't need you. They'll check, they'll find out and move. But unless you do this, things will not move. My dear friends, aspirational and accessible. Poor kids are doing well. Go to the airport in Mumbai. Middle class parents, lower middle class parents going to United States of America for the convocation ceremony of their children. It happened without us. It will happen without us. Why? Because accessibility has improved and aspiration is something which you can't measure while you walk through the security screening of the airport. You can't measure whether the man is a terrorist to blow up a plane while he crosses the security part, or you cannot measure the amount of inspiration which he has. It will happen without us. 1947. What is the significance of this picture? Yeah? Transport, mode of transport, not at all. Nikal. No. The yoke. If you are yoked for 1500 years, the psychological yoke remains for a longer time. It doesn't go. After 47, for a long time, you are good human beings. Non-aligned movement with all the dictators. All the dictators. Fidel Castro, Abdul Nasser, non-aligned. And we should not really spoil our name as India. We should have good name, reputation. Good human beings have reputation. I will go to every function. Funeral, marriage, OT Bharan, everywhere. Because I should appear good. I will walk across Lahore because I should appear good. But that is changing because this yoke broke and we are a different country now. It metaphorically changed when Saurav Ganguly removed his shirt at Lord's and started waving the shirt. I don't know if you guys know anything about sports because you guys are teachers. कुछ पता ही नहीं, खाली वो सब्जेक्ट अभी करिकुलम है, complete the syllabus, get an increment. And gone are the days when people felt when somebody was bowling from there, it was part of the Mughal army, or it was Robert Clive, when Ian Botham was bowling. Gone when Sehwag said, "Who the hell are you?" There was a shift in collective self-esteem of the country. Kohli, who cares? And Kohli said something very beautiful which we should all absorb. His interviews are phenomenal, it cuts across all barriers. He said, "Har bar, every time I try to improvise myself. I don't know if I'm an expert." He said, expert, excellence, these are not the words in my dictionary. I improvise myself every day. Hindi में कहता है, मैं बेहतर बनने का कोशिश करता रहता हूँ. And also he said something very beautiful. Don't get bored about ordinary work. Don't try to hit a 6 and a 4 all the time. Playing the ordinary balls are as important as playing the big balls. So it's very important for us to understand that we have changed. We now do not have the yoke. We can look up. Maldives nahi to Lakshadweep. The world scenario is changing. We are challenging the powers to be that they cannot do what they have done in the past. CIA cannot kill anybody and everybody across the world. Indians can also kill. Violence also begets peace. So do not understand and misinterpret the meaning of compassion. Okay? What is important is we are here. We are decisive. We take decisions. We are not good. We are effective. Difference between good and effective is very important. No, I feel, ma'am, this is right. But inclusive effectivity. I mean, man, I feel this is what we should be doing. What do you think? Effective. Ma'am, I think this is the only thing. Exclusive. Exclusion and effective. So it's important that we are moving from. We are looking at the sun. When the neighbors are looking at the ground, we are looking at the sun. Aditya has gone closer to the sun. Chandrayaan has gone and landed the moon. Metaphorically, we are being from good to effect. So which is why kids come and say, my son, he went to the best career counselor in the country. Both of them. Elder one, he confirmed it all the day. Younger one put his leg on his leg and said, no, I don't agree with you. I don't think what you say about me is right. And we were embarrassed. Apro naam kharab tha nahi. How will he think about it? But we walked out. He said, no, I'm not going to do this test at all. What is wrong? Just not doing the test for shock value is different. Not doing the test because I think differently are the people who are going to change the world. My dear friends, Bharat is on a vertical takeoff jet. We can talk with eye-to-eye contact with the world. That impacts your careers also. Career is not a slotted activity. थोड़ा टेस्ट करेंगे, माँ बाप से बात करेंगे, उसको फिलाडेल्फिया भेजेंगे. No, this is something we need to really look. Implication for us is when you look at careers, look around. What are the influences of the kid? Look behind. How was the kid in the first few years of his life? Look now. Look ahead and look lifetime. Careers are all about lifetime. It's not about 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Careers keep on changing. In fact, if I've written a poem, not when I was in love, I wrote on my son. Don't look at me like that. I wrote on my son when he came out of the bathroom shaving his moustache for the first time. And I wrote what I felt. I was not inspired to do it when I was in school. Why? Because somebody did not believe in me. It's important to understand that you need to look around. My dear friends, this man used to come to my house and would service my computer. He would sell computers. He was the CEO of his own computer firm, engineer. Today, he is one of the best stand-up comedians of the country, Atul Khatri. He's one of the best stand-up comedians earning in millions. I'm not for stand-up comedians all the time, but the point is, which test will identify him to become a stand-up comedian? What did he say? Harish, you know, I've started cracking jokes with a few people. And then I found they were laughing. Then I said, I'll increase the number of people. And then they found that I was laughing. And now increase the number of people I called all over the world. Now, which test can identify this guy? The point is, keep our eyes, ears, senses, cells all open. Your husband might change tomorrow to do something different. That's the first thing. then your children, then other children. Because unless in the life of principals and teachers, things change in their own families, they don't look outside. Not here, this is different, Baroda is different. I'm talking about Bombay. My dear friend Atul Khatri. Now who is this?
Murari Bappa.
What did he do? What is the most common thing between Murari Bapu and Atul Khatri?
Storytelling.
Storytelling. Murari Bapu said, I started saying stories of Ramayana to a few people in my village, and he found people were interested. And then he started telling it to the world. The point is, in your career testing, look for good priests. Yes, we need good priests to bind the world. Look for good teachers. My dear friends, culture also impacts careers, family beliefs. Apada Karma. In my family, nobody will do hospitality industry. We can't cut beef. We can't cut non-veg. Life circumstances. Spirituality. So many families go to their gurus to ask what their kids should do. We are far away. We are far away. Nothing wrong in that, but that is also an underlying motivation. Now who is she? When did she win her first Miss India title? Only Miss India title? 1998. And what did she say in the interview? I am interested in politics. 1998 she said. Motivation. Nobody could stop her. And she entered politics. Now who taught her all this? Nobody. Undersay. So please understand, give little space to Kainat, to God, to Prarabdha. There's somebody there who guides you beyond all the tests. And include that in your tests also. Appropriate words, like the Shetty Hotel in Bombay. They initially started with Vada Sambar, Idli, then Vada, then Chinese came. They put Chinese stall inside. Appropriated. Then came Pav Bhaji. Put the Pav Bhaji inside. Okay, A to Z store ho gaya. What is very important is something unknown also guides kids to do what they want. And that is something which is important. Now this man, one of the best pediatric neurosurgeons, accidental careers, I'll tell you what happened. In COVID, he started going up and down, and because he had time, he started reading about shares. He is one of the best person in understanding moving of the charts of share bazaar, momentum of the shares. Accidental, he never knew he had this talent. I don't think no school has taught me how to manage shares. Have they taught you? Beta idhar aao, paisa banao. No. The point is the amount of exposure we have to come to a conclusion about career is very limited here. Test alone can't do anything. You need to do a lot of ingenious activity to identify skills. That's what I was told, that Mr. Kohli does that all the time. Jamila was saying that yesterday, Madam was saying that yesterday. I need to really do research and find out what works where. And that is very important. My dear friends, careers are developmental. My son came and once said, Daddy, I want to become a doctor. We had a party. Kuch to naya bola ho. I said, what doctor? Ophthalmologist. He said, why? I said, why? Because eyes are small, books will be small. Then he did not become an ophthalmologist. That's a different story. He said, developmental. But we need to be borderless career specialists. Borderless. Anybody can do anything. I met a girl who said, I'm an expert in cutting jeans. And I said, I didn't understand. You know those cut jeans girls and boys wear? She knows how to cut. She's an expert in that. Now, which test can find out whether somebody knows how to cut jeans? At least my mother would stitch a skirt from a sari those days. So it is a world which is, and whenever these girls would come in cut, I would ask them first question, do you have financial problems? No sir, it's trendy. This is more expensive than the actual jeans. The point is borderless. Is there something like career construction? Some people say I plan 20 years from now. I don't think that works anytime. You don't know what stimulus will come to you after 10 years. Professional prestige. No, there's no doctor in my family. You will be the first doctor. And the mother start thinking that son is wearing an apron, he's wearing a stethoscope, he's examining patients. And the son says, I don't want to become a doctor. I still remember gynecologist from Baroda. Long ago, 25, 30 years ago. She said, my son wants to be a DJ. I said, what is wrong? DR, R, Nikalo, I said, they were very angry. But I found this boy tremendously interested in music, knew how to do things with the music, and he was determined. He was not taking hash and marijuana. He was genuinely interested in mixing music, and he became one of the best. How many of you remember this line, Ishq hai to risk hai, risk hai to ishq hai? Where is it from? Scam. How many of you remember the music in the scam? Huh? Achin Taka, come here. Some of these come in time now. You want to become the principal, no? Look like, so say something more about Achin Taka.
He's music director of Bhutilo. I think he has written that song along with Scoop also, yes, along with Aditya
And
Gandhi.
that ad of Century plywood same music.
No, that
I'll tell you something more. He was pushed to NIOS because he was not good in studies. Achin Thakkar, he was from Jamnabai High School and he had to do NIOS. My dear friends, various other influences. Thank you, sir. You will become principal Tathastu. And send me a box of sweets when you become. Job availability decides job accessibility. When I meet parents of IIT, kitna package milega? I feel entered in old school, no? I get very uncomfortable. I can't be as mindful as you. My tongue wags without the permission of the brain or my knees. Because the brain can also reside on your knees sometime. MBA schools, how much package my son will get after he passes from symbiosis? I don't understand. I understand goals. When goals are big, money doesn't matter, money comes. No problems at all. And that is a challenge which you are with, but that is true. Job ability, parents, peers, utopia, indecision and indecision is something you need to really look at. You really need to differentiate between indecision and indecisiveness. The second is part of your nature. The first is probably anxiety, so many other influences. My dear friends, she is my psychologist for the last 18 years. With great difficulty she did BA, against the interest, against the permission of all parents. And from BA to MA it was a big climb. The parents said, don't study more, it will be difficult to find a husband. And then Archana Patki, head of the psychology department, ascended. He said, nothing doing, I will talk to your parents. And today she is one of the brightest psychologists in the country. Why? Because it so happened because psychological flourishing is also a mediator. You are not there to do tests. I don't take those notes. When I was young, I used to take because it said I love you. Now it will say your time is up. Please go and sit down. You have to get the relationship, self-esteem. We have to tie all the knots together. I would like to know the person who wrote the note. I love you Jamila for that. Psychological flourishing, we need to tie all dots. As I slowly stop. Self-efficacy and self-esteem. What is the difference? Psychologists? What is the difference?
What's self?
Efficacy and self-esteem. Self-esteem is, I have skills, but I may have doubts of actually using their skills. Self-esteem, I have skills, I know how to use it. Though there is no complete consensus on these two words, this is what it is. My dear friend, what's the important part of this picture? What's the important part of this picture? None of them are from IITs.
Yes.
That is important. Okay? So my friends, maintaining your career goals is important. What happens? You become a doctor. I will change the world. I will work for the poor. Slowly, system catches up with you. True for the teacher also. I will change the world. Nothing changes. When principal says you are in this committee, that committee, tuck. And then you say, what the hell? All the goals have gone. And he teaches us how to maintenance of goal is very important, sir. And then 3 things happen. What are you doing? I am a teacher. How is it? Routine. 18 lectures a week. Salary increase by 10% every year. principal she has become. She was young when she became, so I have no chance. Hedonism. Whatever happens, I'll have my fun. I don't bother, I'll continue having my fun. And the third is rejuvenation, reminding yourself of your goals all the time. Embracing civilizational glory also impacts self-esteem. Self-esteem is not individualistic, it's collective. It's always collective. So being in touch, in America, if you go and tell a black, you are a black, he says, no, I'm an American. Because he wants to link with the lineage of America, except for damaging the aboriginals in the country. My dear friends, this is a term I picked up from the movie Invictus. You should all see the movie. Hunger of greatness is today's India. Unchi udan marna hai. Every child wants to be a vertical takeoff jet. Don't give him a road which is a road running on the runway. My dear friends, a lot of people say that India is a melting pot. I agree, we have a lot of problems. But I say India is a billion-layered sandwich. My friend Kulbhushan Kushal, late, who was an educationist, he would say India is a magic pot. I wrote an article on India as a symphony without synchrony, where asynchronous is very beautiful. To my dear friends, melting pot, yes, but also a magic pot. Lastly, this man, I'll tell you how career changes. He teaches at the National Judicial Academy in Bhopal, PhD. He was doing extremely well, working in Honeywell, his wife was working for Infosys, till his father said, who will stay with me? They left everything in Bangalore. I came down and started helping the father with no job, no salaries. And from there again came back and became a professor at the National Judicial Academy. So sometimes, family. He was individualistic in accessing his career, but he became collectivistic when he said, parents want me. And again he started going back. My dear friends, last slide. Should career counselors be influenced? When I mean influence is not 2 million hits. Influences would mean, would you influence the children to take a particular career? I leave it to you. I would do it. I would say we need more priests, we need more psychologists, we need more good teachers, we need good remedial educators, and there are a host of professions which really has a very big need. I would say yes, career counselors should be inspirational models and should promote some careers just the way you promote some universities. It's important to say India needs more psychologists, more MSWs, and Jamila is really staring at me, but it's all of its eyes of love. Love. Okay, so as I stop, my dear friends, I would like to say, before I pay obeisance to two of the greatest mental scientists in the country, Patanjali gave us yoga, Buddha gave us vipassana. Buddha also said, dukh hai, dukh ka karan hai, dukh ka nivaran hai, nivaran ka marg hai. I always also say, use these two sentences, one of Sam Bahadur Manekshaw. One rule of the army is the last child, no man standing. It's about don't leave till the last man is standing. Okay, and the next is the sentence of basically of hikers. The last child leads. So do not have confirmation bias over a few students. These are the toppers. These are good musicians. Look at all those you unconsciously ignore. Go to them. You might find a jewel inside each one, or gold dust, as you said. I got very tempted, literally, for gold dust business. Gold is very expensive. I can't afford to buy. So I really pay my obeisance to those two great scientists who have changed the world the way it is. Vipassana is free of cost. Mindfulness you have to pay. IC3 is free of cost. Other workshops you have to pay. Go for Vipassana, do yoga, things will change. With this, I genuinely... Before you give me a thunderous applause, I would like to thank every teacher who in the eyes of Mr. Kohli and there's some Priyanka waiting somewhere. Where is she? Achha, oh my God. Oh God. You were the girl in the apron. Before he came, you were there, no? Yeah, I saw a smiling face. I would like to thank each one of you. Remember, अच्छे काम के लिए सब लोग पैदा होते हैं, मुश्किल काम के लिए और हम. Never use this word. How's the marriage? How's the marriage?
Good.
Don't say routine hai. Nothing is routine. Every day is beautiful. And try and do simple things every day. And please write down those things. Share it with each other. And with this, thank you, Madam Tejal, Jamila, Madam here, and everybody, and all the teachers. And everybody is equal, but some are more equal than the others. My psychologists. Thank you. Hello,